when you come back home, you're like a newborn baby.
Mm. So you will be quitting showbiz?
Yes, actually I have quit. It's been like 8 months since my last appearance on TV.
Mm. So how was the feeling? You mentioned a while ago your feeling when you were in Mecca. Did you expect that feeling before you arrived in Saudi Arabia? Or you have a different feeling when you are inside?
I think every Muslim feels that when you first time you step in Haram and you see the Kaaba. Oh my gosh, Haram, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. So a feeling that I cannot express, but you cannot, there's this urge that makes you want to cry. I don't know, and I think it's the feeling, wow, I'm so close to Allah, and I felt so, I'm such a sinful person, and yet Allah invited me to His house. I'm so close to Him, and I felt so lucky because so many people save up so much money to be there, and they sleep in the masjid, and they don't have no place to stay just to perform Hajj. Allahu Akbar. And you see that their level of iman, Allahu Akbar, they'd sacrifice everything just to perform Hajj. And I felt so lucky because I got a good accommodation and I didn't need to save up money. Allahu Akbar.
What can you say about the people out there about Islam?
Islam is really a religion of peace. And I really got to performing Hajj also made me realize that. Because people come together helping each other from different countries, different races, just to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm just so happy to be a Muslim. Alhamdulillah.
If your dad is here right now, what would you tell him?
I just want to thank my father for giving me the opportunity to perform Hajj, and that I love him so much, and that I'm happy because without my father I wouldn't have been a Muslim.
What will be your plan after Hajj?
I want to go back to college and finish my studies, and inshallah I will also study Islamic studies, inshallah, in the future.
So, ibig
and learn
sabihin,
more about Islam.
Ibig sabihin tuloy-tuloy na ang paghinto mo sa showbiz?
But I want to live my life according to the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. According to Islam, I want to live my life the Islamic way.
And
I hope, because I hope that people from the youth and people from my age will get to experience or perform Hajj at this age, because so many perform Hajj at an old age, and if you have an opportunity at your youth to perform Hajj, please go. You should perform Hajj.
Is there any responsibility that you think you already have right now after Hajj going back to the Philippines?
Responsibility?
Yeah, the sense of responsibility, like propagation of Islam, something.
Right now, I want to inspire the youth. But in doing that, I have to gain more knowledge. Inshallah, I will get to study more about Islam and make da'wah, inshallah.
Queenie, the way you talk about Islam right now, the way you tell us briefly your stories, your experiences in Mecca, there's a lot of inspirations. You injected inspirations about Islam in these four walls, or people is going to see this video. What else can you tell them about Islam?
Islam is a way of life, and when you become a Muslim, you start to know what your purpose really is. And your purpose in this world is just to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's it. And before, I see a lot of kids my age. They are so pressured with everything from school life, from, people, there are a lot of bullies now in school and feeling pressure from different groups of people and, the things that teenagers experience nowadays. And a lot of them commit suicide, a lot of them, have miserable lives because they don't know the purpose of their life. And I wish everyone could, Islam just changes you as a person into a good person, and I don't know what to explain.
Thank you, Queen.
I used to work as an actress, and I lived in Australia for 8 years and I studied there. And the reason why I moved to the Philippines was to pursue a career, an acting career. And so I left, and from that, and for that 4 years I've been training, and the first 2 years I was training, and then when I was 17, I started to have shows and everything. And just recently, my mom became a revert in Islam. And she had a few interviews how she didn't want my sisters and me to be in showbiz, and that she wanted us to be good practicing Muslims. And so there was a lot of controversies going around and everything. And my father told me to go home, to go back home, to be with my mom, and to comfort her. And so I went back home, and subhanAllah, I noticed such a big difference in my mother. I never saw, growing up as a child, she had that beautiful glow in her face, and she was, everything that came out from her mouth was beautiful, and it was like filled with Islam, everything. And she was offering her daily prayers and reading the Quran and watching Islamic lectures. And she started wearing a hijab, and I wondered, I've been crying. Subhanallah. And so I went back home, and then I went back to work, and I felt like I didn't belong. And then I felt like I was doing something wrong, because I felt this, I don't know, fear in Allah, taqwa, fear in Allah. And all I wanted to do is to please Him. And I felt like what I was doing was displeasing Him. And that my mother, kind of pulled me out. So I went up to my father and I said, "Oh, Pa, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to leave everything behind. I want to quit everything for Islam, because I want to be a good Muslim. And I want to obey Allah. And I want to work for the hereafter." And he helped me. Alhamdulillah, I know I always make dua at night that may Allah make it easy for me. and he did. And after that, I started going to Islamic gatherings and going to the masjid to attend seminars to learn more and more and more about Islam. And after a few months, I also realized who were my real friends. And subhanAllah, they were my sisters in Islam. Because they love me for who I am, and they love me for the sake of Allah. And that love will last until Jannah, inshallah. Inshallah. And no one of my friends and show has ever contacted me. No one. And you know, when I fasted in Ramadan, there were things, you know, it wasn't just, I realized a lot of things. It wasn't just refraining yourself from eating or drinking. It's also disciplining yourself. And I found out a lot of things in myself that I thought I could never do, but I did because of Ramadan. You know, it's also fasting in your tongue, your eyes, your everything. Because in Ramadan, you can't talk bad. You have to refrain yourself from talking bad about people, and you have to also, it's also cleansing your heart. You know, in Ramadan, you have to forgive everyone. Forgive everyone and ask for forgiveness from people you have wronged. And mashallah, more and more Islam became more beautiful to me. And it became my passion. And the more happier I became and the more content I felt because of Islam. Because, you know, there's this verse that I really love. It's called, it says in the Quran that Allah chooses whom He guides. And that itself is a blessing because I know that I am one of the chosen ones. And I am lucky to be guided by Allah. And I told my Papa that I wanted to perform Hajj. First, I wanted to fulfill the 5th pillar of Islam. And I wanted to fulfill Allah. And, you know, my sisters in Islam were saying, my new friends were saying that, you know, when you do Hajj and Allah accepts your Hajj, you will come home like a newborn baby. And I wanted to feel that so that I can easily move on. And mashallah, you know, we called NCMF and they said that all the applications were closed. And it was so sad. And I mean, ya Allah, if you think that it's time for me, that it's best for me to perform Hajj, please make it easier. Please make it easy. And if not, ya Allah, I will accept. And alhamdulillah, the next day we got a call. And they said that they can open the applications again for us. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I was so happy. I was so happy. And the first time I saw Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it was like a dream come true. And I was pinching myself, am I really here? And the same feeling when I first stepped in Al-Masjid Al-Haram. And more, when I stepped in and I saw the Kaaba, MashaAllah, La ilaha illallah, I really felt Allah's presence. And 5 times a day we pray in the direction of the Kaaba. And I got to experience praying 3 steps away from it. When I touched the Kaaba and made dua, I didn't want to get out of there because I felt so close to my Creator. I felt so close to Allah. my companions were saying, oh, Queen, we have to go, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to stay there. I've never felt so happy in my life. I've never felt so happy just knowing Allah and having Him close to me. And now, I think it's every parent's dream for his or her child to finish her studies. Now I want to go back to university and study, and inshallah become a good businesswoman. At the same time, study Islam, and study Arabic, study the Quran, inshallah, and gain more knowledge. Because I want to become a caller to Islam and be a good example for the sake of Allah. Inshallah. And thank you so much for listening. And may Allah bless you all. And inshallah, we'll all see each other in Jannah. Assalamu alaikum.